You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network. Now the largest new media platform on the web and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Cougar Town After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Cougar Town After Show.
Hey there, Cougar Town fans, Cougar Townspeople, Cougar Townians, Cougar Pops. That's new. That's the new one.
Cougar Pops.
It has nothing to do with anything. I just liked it.
I like it. It sounds like a band.
Yeah, the Cougar Pops. They got like a fun, fresh...
We should start a band.
Called the Cougar Pops?
Hells yes.
Totally down with that. We'll have a fun, beachy sound. It'll be light. We'll be a surf rock band. I like it. Okay.
Surf rock.
If you're confused and you don't know where you wound up, be assured you are at the AFTERBUZZ TV Cougar Town After Show. We're talking about Season 5, Episode 10, Too Good to Be True. I am Matt Lieberman. Joining me on the panel, of course, all season long, fantastic and talented Miss Jenna Couture.
Hello.
And the fantastic and talented Miss Chelsea Earlewine.
Hello.
Glad to have you back. I know you were sick last week.
I was nearly dead, but I am here.
Well, thank you for joining us. Now, as always on the Cougar Town Show, we are drinking a wonderful wine. This week, we are drinking the Puerto Viejo Merlot. It's a 2012 Merlot. Now, as I said last week on the podcast, I'm not a big Merlot guy. It's not my go-to. It's not even like my... It's barely my last resort. I'm not a Merlot guy.
Really?
You're not, I love a Merlot. It's so easy.
I know.
Smooth.
Well, that's the thing. Well, last week it really
Except for that punch in the face last week.
It let us down. This
Glad I
Merlot.
wasn't here for that.
Still here.
This Merlot is truly excellent right out of the bottle.
I normally buy the Cabernet from this brand, and I saw this one. I'm like, oh, let's try out the Merlot. And it's good. It doesn't have too many tannins. You know how Merlot can be really tanny and leave your mouth dry? It's not like that.
No, it's very easy drinking. It's not a dry wine. It's a very wet Merlot. The way that they describe it, and I think it's pretty accurate. It's a deep ruby color with cherry highlights, intense nose of raspberry, candied fruit, spices, and toasting, complex, balanced, and supple on the palate.
Yeah.
Wow.
It says try pairing this wine with prosciutto.
Ooh.
Well, let's do that.
Okay, we
later
will in the future. So I just want to say, first of all, this might be it's the funniest Cougar Town episode I think all season and potentially in a few years.
For sure.
And just a laugh out loud, fun episode where we got to explore a lot of fun ideas that we'd been talking about. I know I'd brought up earlier in the season, Tom should get a love interest. He apparently had made one up for himself in Jules. Not a huge surprise, I think.
Well, we've known for a long time he has the hots for Jules.
Yeah.
But it was
Like the hots
and every time he's
for
playing
Jules.
with his little dolls and his houses and stuff, he's always finding ways to kill off Grayson. So we knew that was happening, but we didn't know to the extent it was happening.
Right. We didn't know how far he was going. But you know, it just was really a funny story. So let's get into it. So Tom's daughter Haylee is visiting from New York. Tom says that she had just visited and she had just left, you know, and that he hadn't introduced her to any of the cul-de-sac crew, which of course sends Jules into a classic Jules spiral. Where
I love the seatbelt, like everybody.
Yeah,
does.
everybody
like,
buckles
buckle
in because she can be a nightmare when she goes into one of these spirals where
she's like really talking through her thoughts out loud, and it gets really hectic. But I think we all kind of do that in our head.
Yeah. We
She
do.
just does it out loud.
She just vocalizes it, but then also always acts on the paranoia.
Yeah.
Most of us, we think about it and we're like, no, that's crazy. She acts on the paranoia. She has to know what's happening in order to get out of this loop of worrying and wondering. So she finds Tom in his little Marwin call cul-de-sac, his little model cul-de-sac where Grayson has died a grisly death.
Yes.
He's underneath the wheel of Tom's car, and mini Tom is just jumping up and down on it, crushing Grayson's head.
Poor Grayson.
Poor Grayson.
Well, I feel like Tom doesn't hate Grayson. It's just pure jealousy.
He just wants Grayson out of the picture.
Yeah.
Jules's.
Yeah. On some level, he thinks that if Grayson was out of the picture, he would have a shot. Not the clearest shot in the world, not the best shot in the world, but a shot. And that's, in his mind, all he needs.
That's all you need when you're living on a maybe.
It's true. Oh, he's halfway there, living on a maybe. Yeah. So, Tom says, well, I'm sorry, she's already left, but next time, I'll introduce you.
I know, I thought that was so weird, and I was like, I really wanted to see what his daughter was like, and
it's like, it's not like Cougar Town to just skip over the big
I know,
story.
I was like, whoa.
So then Jules and Ellie are walking through downtown Gulf Haven, and Tom panics, like, I thought you'd be at work. And there's Haylee. She's there. She hadn't left at all. He had been hiding her because he had been telling Haylee all this time that Jules was his girlfriend. He didn't want to be embarrassed. Oh. But here's the thing, right? Jules's office is in downtown Gulf Haven.
It is.
It's right there. So having her there wouldn't have really helped.
Well, maybe the daughter wanted to see downtown, and so he had to take her.
Right.
He couldn't be like, no, we have to avoid downtown. So I think he probably took her and was walking on eggshells the whole time. Like, oh my gosh, I hope Jules doesn't come out of her office.
Right. And unfortunately, there she is.
And
there
how many times has poor Jules this season had to fake something? Fake date.
That's true.
Fake husband, fake boyfriend. I mean, she is all about. She's
a faker.
She's really pushing her acting this season.
There's a lot of fakeness this season.
There is a lot of.
I hadn't even noticed that.
I'm picking up the pattern.
Yeah,
I see it. A lot of faking.
You're picking up what this writing staff is putting down. You're tapped right into the Cougar Town DNA.
And I'm just wondering what else she's going to fake before the season finale.
I'm very, very curious because, this is a pretty big one,
This is.
Tom has been creeping on her for years to really, to have to climb on top of that bony lap takes some serious
to
guts.
get as close as she was getting to him.
She was a really good sport, though.
And
it shows how big her
support.
heart is. Yeah. That she would immediately go, yeah, you're right. This is my boyfriend. We're together. And she just starts hugging on him. That was a good solid she did.
Absolutely. She did him a huge solid. She wasn't in Chattanooga, as he had said.
Where is Chattanooga?
Chattanooga, I believe, is in Tennessee.
Oh.
I might be wrong. It also might be...
a real estate convention.
Yeah, real estate convention in Chattanooga. You guys weren't invited to the real estate convention in Chattanooga?
Apparently not.
And the stories he was making up about Grayson and what kind of guy, oh, you're Grayson? Like, the retarded
Have you guys
brother?
ever lied about having a significant other before? I've never done it, and it's always like it's a trope in TV, but I've never met anyone who really lied.
No, I've never made up
I've
somebody.
lied about not having a significant other.
Oh.
Which is pretty bad.
Which is honestly juicier. Yeah.
There's more juice to that. But no, I haven't ever said I had someone that I didn't.
Okay. But, it's a tricky situation, especially when you factor in, her husband, Grayson.
Yes.
Who Tom has labeled as the gay, mentally handicapped brother of Jules.
That she's taking care of.
I mean, he was really going at it.
Well, one of my favorite things that we've really tapped into this season is Grayson's kind of lost dream of being an actor. And he really goes for it in this performance. And Josh Hopkins, again, hilarious in this episode, doing his best Forrest Gump.
I thought it was genius of Jules, too, to get him on board by saying, this could be a good acting challenge for you.
Oh, yeah, she
and
totally...
it clicked with him. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Well, she's his wife. She knows how to play him.
Likewise, he knows how to play her. He's, he knows the compliments and roses get Jules on board.
That's true. I mean, and hey, they have the healthiest sex life of anyone on the show. I assume. We haven't really gotten too much into the
There was a
Lori
lot of sex
Trav.
this episode, too.
Yeah, Ellie and Andy. I mean, we'll get into it. But just a lot of fun watching them interact, and Ellie is just eating this up.
Oh my gosh, I would be too.
Yeah.
I want these friends. I want this much drama around me.
Right?
Ellie's
That
Super
doesn't
Bowl.
affect me. You don't want it to affect you too much, but just watching everyone else have the drama.
This is the Ellie equivalent of like a flourless chocolate cake.
Yeah.
She
said it was her Super Bowl.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Pure decadence and fun. She's got this train wreck, and then she's also got the Andy train wreck, which we'll get into in a bit. But she is just, pushing it as far as it can go. And she's like, oh, we should all have lunch. And they're down at Gray's pub, where, Jules finally has let Grayson know that his food is terrible. And she's ruined so many purses,
She's been
throwing
hiding
away
all of the food in her
his
purse.
terrible food.
Aw, what you won't do for someone you love.
Yeah.
You'll fake eat their food.
Exactly. That's
Fake,
true.
fake, fake.
But they've been going there.
More faking.
I wonder who the real Jules is.
That's true. Will the real Jews Cobb please stand up?
Please stand up.
I think she has a big heart to fake all this stuff. You know, it means she cares.
Yes and no.
Yes and no, I agree.
She's also selfish, because here's the thing, right? She could have told him this years ago when they weren't even together, but she just so didn't want to insult somebody, and she so didn't want to have that on her hands and have to deal with it, that she didn't tell him. The entire cul-de-sac crew has been going there for years, and now it comes out that his food's terrible.
They were just trying to spare his feelings.
But they could have helped him improve it for
just
years.
How much business he's probably lost.
Yeah, he could be very successful if he hires a cook.
That's true.
You know, he hires a head chef, which, honestly, I'm doing an early prediction. I'm going to say after this, we get a new recurring character, head chef at Gray's Pub.
Okay.
Throwing it out there.
Okay.
Throwing it out there.
And I bet it's going to be a hot girl.
I like this idea.
Yeah.
As a male viewer, I like this idea. But I love this lunch scene. I can't remember exactly what Grayson said. It was something about cows have finger boobies.
Oh my gosh, and cows have
boobies like
on their fingers or something.
Or fingers on their boobies.
Fingers on their boobies. Yeah.
Teats. It's a big T.
Yes, that makes sense.
Yes.
And he kept going cross-eyed. And he was good. I was impressed.
He was really good. I love it when Grayson acts.
I know. Well, it's funny because it's almost borderline. You know, it's not the most PC joke in the world.
Not at all.
He is playing a mentally handicapped person. It's a little screwed up on Grayson's part, but I feel like we get away with it because it's all to, protect Tom, who's effectively a member of this main cast, so we get away with it.
Yeah.
But still rocky ground.
It is, but I think that's why he keeps saying he's playing Forrest Gump.
Yes.
Because it's like, put it off on Tom Hanks,
Exactly.
who already did it.
He's not playing a mentally handicapped person. He's playing Tom Hanks playing Forrest Gump.
Yes.
Yes.
He's getting around it.
And then he finds out later that he's also supposed to be gay, and it throws him for a loop because he's like, I could have been adding this level of complexity to this character, and now we've all been robbed of my performance. It's the one piece that was missing.
Oh, okay.
Maybe that character will come back.
That's the funniest. Okay, that's what are you, Jenna Couture? Jeez.
I was just thinking about it.
Yeah. So the moment they get home, Jules and Grayson can't keep their hands off each other.
Which is the first time I've seen it in a while, it feels like. There's only been a few episodes like this.
Yeah.
And this one felt super genuine.
Well, and Jules's boobs were looking good
They
this
were
week.
out
They were
on
very
display
perky.
this week.
Yeah. I don't want to say, did she have a touch-up? I don't know.
It seems like
I don't want to cast aspersions, but it does seem like they're putting them out there, loud and proud, the way that all boobs should be.
She could have just gone to a sale at Victoria's Secret or something, but somehow those boobs are really up there.
For whatever reason, maybe Courtney Cox is up for a part in a movie, and she wanted to just make sure that if anyone was watching Cougar Town, the girls were out in front and they look as great as ever.
Could be.
Maybe.
And they do.
I'm on the verge of sounding very inappropriate, and I'm not comfortable. So I'm going to take a second and talk about iTunes instead.
Right, fair enough.
Don't skip ahead, because here's the thing, folks. I know I say it every week, but it's so vitally important. Here at AfterBuzz TV, we love being able to entertain you and inform you about your favorite shows. We put out over 70 hours of content a week. It's a crazy amount of content, and it's all free. And because we live in the most amazing future of all time, even the Jetsons couldn't have imagined an iPhone. You can watch, stream, download, listen, wherever you want, whenever you want. We live in an amazing time. But here's the thing, folks. To keep the doors open here, we at AfterBuzz TV, we're not doing this for some huge paycheck. We are trying to, carve out our own niche in this podcast world, and we need every bit of support we can get. And the best way that you can do that, I can give you two things. One, I say it every week, go to iTunes, rate and review. Rate and review, rate and review, rate and review. It really does help everything around here. It's what keeps the lights on. It's what keeps the doors open. If you want us to keep giving you great podcasts, it only takes a second and it doesn't cost you a dime. Go to iTunes, rate and review the show. It means the world to everyone here. Another thing you can do, Kevin Undergaro and Maria Menounos, the creators of AfterBuzz TV, they have a new reality series, a docuseries coming to Oxygen.
I can't wait to see
Tuesday,
this.
March 18th at 10/9 Central.
It's right around the corner.
It's called Chasing Maria Menounos, and it is about the lives of Maria and Kevin. Maria, she wears so many hats. She does so much. And she's so busy that we're all constantly chasing Maria, trying to get her to sign off on something or to do another piece or to be somewhere. You know, you're going to see a lot of Maria's life. You're going to see a lot of AfterBuzz TV behind the scenes on this show. You know, if this show does well, it is only going to benefit the network. I'm sure some of you out there are like, why are you promoting this? I know she owns the network. It legitimately will help us keep the doors open, keep the lights on. So tune in Tuesday, March 18th at 10/9 Central, and we deeply appreciate your support. Okay, wrapping up this first storyline. So Haylee spots Grayson and Jules locking lips, and she's freaked out, as anyone who accidentally stumbles on probably incest would be freaked out.
Well, yeah, and she thinks it's her dad's girlfriend making out with her handicapped gay brother.
Yeah. Well, you know, and Tom explains the whole thing to her earlier. He says, you know, like, look, she has this great life in New York, but she worries about me. You know, Tom's wife is dead. We were reminded of that this episode. And, you know, if she knew that I was alone, she'd just move back here and try to take care of me. And I want her to have a life, which is amazing.
It is
and it's one of the most human moments Tom has had in a very long time.
True.
And I think when you have a character this borderline who can be this creepy, you need moments of humanization.
And he's been super creepy this season.
Yeah.
He's been a huge creeper, and we've seen him a lot. So it was nice to see a more real side to him.
Absolutely.
And make him a little vulnerable.
Absolutely. It's why it's so funny. It's so funny to see Jules having to hug up on him, knowing, you know, all the things that he's done in the past and how much this means to him, how much he wants this to be real. It's deeply rooted in character, and that's why the laughs are so genuine. You know, ultimately, he explains everything to Haylee, and she's able to understand, and, you know, she forgives and forgets. And
she's grateful for Jules and Grayson for putting on this show.
Exactly.
And faking it. It shows how much they care for Tom.
They do.
Yeah. And, you know, it gives her the ability to stay in New York knowing that he has great friends who are looking out for him.
Yeah.
You know, that is one side of the story, because they don't always treat him that great. But still.
But I think they will treat him better now, knowing all of this. Because Jules didn't even know at the beginning of the episode that he had a dead wife and a daughter.
She did know, though. She forgot.
Yeah, she'd forgotten about
Not the
it.
daughter, but the dead wife.
So now I think it's a good reminder that Tom is human.
Yes.
And they could treat him a little better.
Agreed. Okay. So I feel like that kind of wraps up that
Yeah.
story. Moving on, you know, we got Bobby, who gets this golden ticket in a burrito. Which,
is this a real thing, first of all?
No, it's the Willy Wonka syndrome. It's the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory thing where, you know, a company gives out a golden ticket and then you win a big prize. In this case, free burritos for a year. Unlimited burritos for a year. Burritos being Bobby's favorite thing, and he's super excited about it. I personally am more terrified by the health factor of having a golden ticket in a burrito that he could have choked on, or God forbid, you know, he swallows it and digests it. He never knows that he had it in him, but he's got all this.
Just like in the side of the wrapper, but he just probably ate the burrito and the thing.
Maybe it looked like it was right in there.
It was in the middle of it, like he took a bite of it.
Yeah,
I don't know, it was really gross.
It was right in there. But of course, he doesn't think about that. He's just overjoyed that he gets free burritos. You know,
I would love to have free burritos. Yes,
really?
I would. I think that's so cool. I'm really trying. I've like that Jamba Juice has like scratch tickets for like a free smoothies for a year. I'm like buying so many smoothies because I'm like, it's gonna be me.
Right. I used to be addicted to the McDonald's Monopoly game when I was a kid.
Oh,
every
that's
year.
another one.
That was an event, you know. And I used to. I don't know if this is true or not. For years, I would say that I had the boardwalk piece. And I left it at McDonald's. When I was a kid, I said that this happened, and I continued to say it for years and years. At this point, I don't know if that's the truth or not.
You kind of convinced yourself it was true.
I convinced myself that I could have won $1 million.
You lied enough about it that you believed it.
Well, I feel like that.
Own lie.
I feel like that happens, and I feel like that's going to happen to Jules at some point with all these fake identities that she's putting on.
I know.
But you know, the episode is called "Too Good to Be True." And you know, this really has to do with what's going on with Bobby's storyline, where, you know, too much of a good thing these burritos, he's ordering them constantly, eating them constantly, to the point that he can't look at another burrito without going crazy.
I love the burrito hallucination.
Yeah?
Like when the burrito's talking to him.
It's a giant burrito.
Like, eat me, you love me, don't go away. Like,
And he's just terrified.
it's like, no.
Yeah, and then
it was
later on,
hilarious.
he beats up that guy in a burrito costume.
Yeah.
It's deeply
Well, that
felt.
was his hallucination.
No, it wasn't.
No, that was like a real burrito man passing out flyers for the company.
No.
But no. The first time where the burrito guy's sitting at the table.
Yeah.
That's a hallucination.
That was a hallucination.
Because it's only him and Bobby in that whole Gulf Haven Central area. It's a hallucination, and they use the camera to show you that it's a hallucination.
That was the hallucination.
Right.
Yes, but
the
then
second
later.
time,
Oh, yeah.
later, he mistakes a man in a burrito costume for his hallucination. It is the exact same burrito costume because I imagine when you rent out a burrito costume, you have to really use it as
Try
much
to
as you
use
can.
it a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not worth it if you're only doing it for one scene.
Oh my gosh.
Um,
The burrito goes to Tummy Town. I just love all their little words.
choo choo, man.
I didn't feel too good about that tummy town.
No.
You didn't
No,
like
it
Tummy
grows.
Town?
No, because he's like it's
Tummy
passing. No, he said it's passing through tummy town.
Listen,
It was like
I have-
digestive, like it goes in and goes out type of thing.
I think that it's sweet, and as a person who loves to eat, I was very, very happy with the term tummy town.
You were.
I feel
you're
like
gonna
that
start
one's
using
staying
it?
in my vocab. Like, I'm going to be using
Today,
Tummy
what
Town.
have I had pass through Tummy Town? I had a wonderful everything bagel with lox and cream cheese and pickled red onions
you
and
were on a health
capers.
kick.
I am on a health kick. I was
That's right.
cheating because I had good news yesterday. And then I went to Veggie Grill and I had a wonderful, veggie steak and kale and cauliflower mash. It was great. And it's all
I
passing
think-
through Tummy Town.
No, I think it's not tummy town that bothers
It's
me.
the
It's the
passing
passing
through.
through.
Okay.
Through.
That
So
he's
if
just
we
a
could-
visitor.
Yes.
We
They're-
just say Tummy Town. Just
Yeah,
Tummy
you can
Town.
say it's going to tummy town.
Okay.
Going
But
to Tummy Town.
the passing through is what.
Okay,
grosses
I can
me out,
understand why that would
okay?
skeeve you
Yeah.
out. But in any case, Lori gives Bobby this cautionary tale about her love of the Spice Girls song "Wannabe," which she listened to it for 15 days straight.
I went through this.
Me
This
too.
this
I
really
love it.
did this happen to you? This is true.
I still listen to Spice Girls. I know that whole CD, both of their CDs back to back.
I would listen to it over and over and
Yeah.
over, but when
Yeah.
you do that with music, you start to hate it.
You
Yeah.
do start to hate it. I never hated it, but I have hated songs before, but Spice Girls, I don't know. There's something really special about them. I could flip them on after not listening to them for 5 years and know everything.
I
And I
don't
like
know.
Disney songs.
Songs can just drive you nuts. I have a problem where in my car, I have a CD player and only one CD fits in there. And, I'll plug my iPhone in to listen to music that way or I'll listen to the radio. But I never change the CDs. So I'll have a CD in my car for maybe 6 to 8 months before I'll change it. So every time I turn on the car, it goes to the first song on the CD. And it drives me insane.
That would be insanity.
Yeah.
I really think no matter how much you love a song, if you listen to it 15 days in a row, you would start to hate it.
Yeah.
My brother was obsessed with Beat It by Michael Jackson for a while when he was a
Yeah.
teenager. It
MJ.
was the only song he listened to for weeks.
Ugh.
He loved that song. Anyway, so Bobby, through Lori's help, they burn the golden ticket so that he no longer has this burrito problem. But then he's faced with another delicious problem. Quesadillas.
Quesadilla.
Delicious.
Which Lori makes a good point is pretty much just a burrito.
Well,
In
yeah.
just a different shape.
Okay.
It's just cheese and meat.
Yeah, but it's a
with-
different shape.
with a tortilla.
Shapes.
Shapes are very important. Also, most burritos don't have cheese. Most burritos
They
are.
don't?
Yeah,
Like
classic
like a
burritos.
bean and cheese burrito.
Okay, a
doesn't
bean
have
and
cheese?
cheese burrito
Like a
has.
classic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cheese
bean and
burrito.
cheese burrito. No, burritos have cheese, Matt.
not all of them. Okay,
Okay, there are some burritos out there, but
traditionally they don't have cheese. Okay.
no, traditionally they do. Bean and
Traditionally,
cheese.
they
Bean
do.
and cheese do, but not
That's a
ones with meat.
traditional-
Ones with
That
meat.
is, if not the most traditional burrito.
Hit us up on Twitter and
Yes.
settle this debate.
Please do.
I know that burritos are better with cheese, but classically,
No.
do they have cheese?
We need like an owner of a Mexican restaurant to chime in on this.
If any of our listeners own a Mexican restaurant, please chime in on this and prove that I'm right. Okay. Andy and Travis and Ellie and Lori. all
Yes.
factor into this next story. I'm setting it up with a level of gravitas because it involves performance.
Yes, it does.
Travis opens an open mic night at Coffee Bucks. He's getting very comfortable in his new job.
I like what a little entrepreneur he's turning into.
Yeah, you know, he's like any 22-year-old. He's exploring his options within his position, and he's trying his best to make the best of it. And he sees this open mic night as his opportunity to add some culture to Gulf Haven. And we've gotten a little, ever since he got this job at Coffee Bucks, we've gotten little peeks at sort of the bubbling hipster culture that's just brewing underneath Gulf Haven, which I think is
starting to build.
So cool and so random that a small Florida town has this like brewing Silver Lake culture.
Hipsters can go anywhere, Matt.
I guess so.
They can.
I guess so.
Hipsters breed.
My haircut found me. So, you know, who knows? But he starts his open mic night, which Andy takes as an opportunity to try a long bubbling within him passion, which is stand-up comedy. And he's
if you can call it comedy.
I know. He's trying his best, and he's laughing at every one of his jokes, and he's got a catchphrase, bitches be loco.
Bitches be loco. I love him. And I feel like he needs someone to rally with him. And Ellie was rallying with him, but she was not laughing with him. She was laughing at him.
Yeah, she was.
You know, and it's like he is always the guy that rallies with everyone else. And I feel like Trav was really trying to let him have his thing. And even though it was embarrassing him, but then, you know, eventually had to.
Well, when people get up and leave.
Yeah.
And you're
you have
losing
to.
business over it.
Right.
You've got to cut that person out.
Right.
Yeah.
Coffee Bucks
So
is a
sad.
business, and this open mic night is predicated on bringing in new business.
But what did that night bring? Sex.
It did. It brought sex for Andy.
For Andy, a permanent sex night.
Yeah.
Permanent sex night.
Yeah.
I like the idea of that permanent sex night.
I like that too, like designating. Like I know a lot of couples are against scheduling sex because
Right.
they feel like, oh no, it's not spontaneous and fun. But if you have a night that you know is always going to be your sex night, I think you're going to make it special.
Look,
Yeah.
You're going to plan for it. Be like, oh, what can I get that's going to be fun or kinky for sex
exactly.
night?
Permanent sex night makes you feel good though.
It changes the spontaneity. It's not the spontaneity of having sex. It's the spontaneity of how can I excite my partner in a new and different way? How can I make this fresh? We are setting aside time because we care about our relationship. We want to be able to have a physical relationship. What is the best way that I can continue to make it fun and exciting as we get, you know, older together, as our relationship evolves? I think that it's
you like it or you don't like it?
I do like it.
I like it too. I
You
think
know,
I'm going to implement this
Right.
in my
Me
own
too.
relationship.
Right.
As soon as I start dating.
Oh,
Permanent
Jenna.
sex night.
Yes.
Jenna, you're beautiful, and you I'm sure that this is all gonna work out. I don't know what I'm saying. I've had a lot of wine, but my point is, you know, if you're getting down to the point where you're both so busy that you need to schedule a sex night because you aren't having sex regularly, you know, we're all busy people. It makes sense.
Yeah.
It does.
I think so. I
and
like
it's
it.
like a security. Like we're definitely gonna have sex this night.
Right.
You know, like you don't have to.
It takes the pressure off of the other nights.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like in the course of a week, you know, like, all right, Tuesdays, it's
Right.
happening. So if it
Permanent.
doesn't happen Monday, it's okay.
I'm gonna throw this out there. You schedule a sex night and 2 sex mornings.
I like
yes.
it. Yeah, I like sex
Yes,
mornings.
I love morning sex.
Morning sex and daytime sex. If you're
Afternoon delight.
people with flexible schedules, at least one afternoon
Or
should be
someone
in
can
there.
stop by someone's place for lunch.
Yes.
Oh, I like your thinking.
That's true.
So
Lunchtime
is car
quickie.
sex. You know, whatever.
Hey, everyone's a fan.
Okay.
Okay. I feel like
It's the red wine. It's
Yeah.
not,
It's the wine. I have
making
no
us
excuse.
sexual.
It was the Slim Fast.
all right. I feel like we've covered everything in this episode. Let's get to predictions.
All right.
Ooh, I don't know. I'm interested.
Wrong
Exactly.
song. Yeah. I'm like,
There
what is
it
this
is.
new jazzy
Your AfterBuzz
predictions?
There it is.
There it is. What
Although,
are
if you want that one too.
Ooh, yeah. I
what are we
like
thinking,
it.
people?
Oh, this is groovy.
Oh, I love that one.
It's the SNL music.
Yeah.
From
Yeah.
1996.
I like
Really?
it.
Yeah.
Rad. I like
I
that.
like
Good
it.
stuff.
Let's keep this one.
All right.
That's our prediction.
Yeah.
So I
What-
feel like we kind of talked about Tom a little bit, but I do feel like the dynamic is going to change with Tom and the cul-de-sac crew after this episode.
I think something's brimming with Tom. And he really carried the A storyline.
Yeah.
Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he really carried it well. It was enjoyable. I mean, this was so much fun and so many laughs. I loved it. I don't know if it beats number 1, but
it was such a good episode.
So funny.
It was a lot of fun.
We giggled our way through it.
We did.
I'm gonna go back to my prediction from earlier and say that now that Tom has exposed the fact to his daughter that he doesn't have a girlfriend, it's a prime opportunity for him to get a real one. And I still think that's gonna happen. Hopefully this season. Or
maybe Jules gets kidnapped. I mean, that would be a cliffhanger.
That would be a cliffhanger. We would not see that coming.
Nobody would ever look at his house because
he kidnaps her.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
that's scary.
Heavy.
That turns the show into something completely different.
Well, maybe it's just
that'll be on a different network.
Yeah. I hope it doesn't turn the show into Cold Case, because that would mean that she was murdered many years ago.
Well, if this is we don't know if this is their last season. I don't know.
All right. I think that's all about all for us. I want to thank everyone for watching, streaming, listening, downloading. Jenna, where can the people find you?
I am on Twitter at JennaTimeTweets.
All right, and Chelsea?
I'm on Twitter at Earlewine, EARLEWINE.
Okay. And you can find me on Twitter at Matt Lieberman. That's MATTLIEBERMAN. You can also find me here on AfterBuzz TV all over the place. I got Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I got Justified, I got Helix and Lost Girl on Sci-Fi, Banshee on Cinemax wrapping up this week. Resurrection on ABC, which just started. Thank you very much, Jenna. I also have a bunch of shows coming out this spring. Playing House on USA, Mad Men's coming back in April, Orphan Black is coming back to BBC America, which, if you love cool sci-fi and clones, watch that show. It's amazing. Tatiana Maslany plays like 8 different characters. She's unbelievable. I want to thank everyone for listening to the podcast. We will be back next week. Unfortunately, we only have 3 episodes left in the season, but we will make them count. Yes. Thank you all for joining us. Good night.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.